Okay, now I'm going to do this with some humor in this, but imagine I was to tell my clan mother, Karen Ann Luke McDonald, that the very communication system that we're using, like in this case, I'm using an Android, right? That's quantum artificial intelligence, right? Cyberspace stuff. All the stuff that was rolled out through Apple, Windows, Microsoft, and then of course Verizon, all the internet service providers, like the service I'm using is Verizon, right? And so therefore what's happening is that I have the evidence, right? And I've given you the evidence right here on the phone because you can see the reaction of when I communicate freely what the law is, what love is, and what this communication system does in response to that, which is to attack me as weapons. That means that the internet is a weapon. So if I tell my clan mother that the internet is a weapon and love is the law, then how does her responsibility as a clan mother relate to that? Which would mean that the very communication system that she's using, which is a weapon, the very communication system that I'm using, which is a weapon, all the communications that people are using is a weapon, and that's against the law. And so therefore, if you have integrity, self-responsibility, then we have the responsibility to communicate that. Now, I've said this for a long, long, long time. I'm not a clan mother. I'm a guardian. So I put it out there to trash all the communication system that you're using in return to be with Mama Earth. Okay? But again, that's not up to me. Okay? But I know that if I was a clan mother, I would be doing everything that I can. And I'm not trying to say that you're supposed to do this. I only share with you what I would be doing by virtue of barking crystals. That's how I do it. Because the more people that realize what they're held captive to, that is a weaponized system against them, then if I'm giving consent to be a part of what that communication is, then under the Nuremberg Doctrine, I could be prosecuted for participating in something I'm giving consent to. And consent is implied consent by using the technology. Remember, silent consent, when you're not using something, but you realize it's available, you're not giving consent to hold in memory something you're using that you realize is a weapon used against you. Okay? Now, in the state of California, what that actually means, under the 5150, it means that if I'm using something that I know and I become aware is trying to harm me and I do nothing about it, then you're mentally ill in California. Okay? It means that something is wrong with you. If you know that you're doing something by virtue of the communication system that you're using, that you know is causing harm to you, and you're allowing that to continue and you're giving consent to do that to yourself by virtue of that evidence, then in California, the 5150 could put a psychiatric hold on you, okay, to have you examined by a psychiatrist to see whether or not you're able to take care of yourself, whether or not you're self-responsible, whether you can be self-responsible for your own behavior to take good care of yourself. And if you're not able to do that, then you would need to be, what? In a healing center. Because that's exactly what Mother Earth is. You see how that works? So that would be, I think you need to go back to Mother Earth. That's the hospital. She's the healer. She's the primary healer here. The one and Mama Earth are the primary healers here. That's what love is. So if you're given consent to experience something that's trying to harm you, right, that's sadomasochistic programming. Because why would you choose to have a relationship with something that's trying to harm you? That's the same codependent relationship that a child has with an abusive mother or father. Out of fear to let go of what doesn't serve you. That's right. And Kim Go-Goon put a little birdie out for folks when she talked about social media platforms, right? And then you put that together with the spirals and why we're where we're at now in terms of spirals and communication systems. And even Patty Bessard mentioned that. Once they lose perception of us because we're accelerating at a higher state of expansion of consciousness, which means we're losing mass and gaining speed. So that means that the accelerators are accelerating and the inverters right? Lost as a result of the spiral that they're running. So you see how this works with what Kim Gu about clearing the servers. The one heard our tears, heard our cries. How many spirits I've listened to over the years said we're tired of fighting wars, of having to keep revisiting the same problem over and over and over and over again, because the universe of consciousness is not learning fast enough without running out of energy, running out of energy, running out of energy, and running out of energy between inverters and accelerators. And that has everything to do with the speed of learning. To let go, which means not holding one captive. Holding energy captive is against the law. I know, Mama. I had to get it out there. I've been holding that one in for a while, Mama. That's the way it is sometimes. You know, your capacity to hold things in and not say anything out of fear. Oh, it's not fear. Concern? Yes, it's concern. There's a difference between concern and fear, because you don't want to lower anybody's frequency, right? And you don't want to insult anybody, and you don't want to tell anybody what to do, right? So I put it through neutral ground. This is what I'm aware of. As a result of learning through others how they're experiencing what they are communicating with us, and realizing there is an acceleration of Granny with Mama, right? So that is a good sign. That's the point. That means we have been successful, and now it's speeding up. More and more people are experiencing the work that's been done while we've all been here, right? Especially some of the stuff that Huna Flash was talking about this morning. So yeah, you can see how it's speeding up a little bit faster, you know, when your capacity to hold a little more energy, clear the cache, don't want to burn nobody up, right? And yeah, so spirals, the one you're with.